Hi everyone, welcome back to Christina Land, a place for grown-up gift givers and adult toy collectors. So in this video, I'm just going to do a quick explanation of why I think, despite the fact I love the 90s Addams Family movies, that it was the right choice for Mattel to use the animated Addams Family movie instead. So I obviously love the Addams Family, because I have both the first and second movie from the 90s on DVD. But then I also really like the animated movie, the 2019 first one. I have not seen the sequel. I have heard that it's not good, and that even people who like the animated one, which I realize are few and far between, they do not like the sequel. So I have not watched it because I like the animated one. I don't want to, deaden my like for it. I don't want to solely, I don't want to hamper my like. I know there's a word. I don't know the word. But I don't want to hurt my like for it by watching a sequel that will make me angry and sad when I really like the animated one. I think it's fun. It's cute. It's a great, gateway for the Addams Family to give to kids. Because I don't think the 1990s ones are quite appropriate for kids. Unless your kid is very, very into the macabre and you know they can handle it. But I think the animated one is great. So I watched the 90s, both the first and the sequel Addams Family movies, and then I watched the animated Addams Family, just so I could see what Mattel could have done if they had used the 90s movies. And honestly, they don't have that much to them. Yes, the 90s movies have more depth, more humor, definitely more for grown-ups than the animated ones. The story's more cohesive. I like Fester a lot better in the live action than the animated one. I'm sorry, Nick Kroll, but the voice choice did not care for. And I like him in a lot of other stuff, but just me. That's the only part of the animated one I didn't care for. Apart from the fact that Mattel probably couldn't get the rights or didn't want to pay for the rights for Angelica Houston and Christina Ricci. Again, there's not as much characterization in them that they could make as fun dolls. The only thing that I could find in the Addams Families that would add to the Monster Highness or a fun doll for Morticia was something that they actually have already added for Morticia. She cuts off the roses. That's what she does in the 90s movies. Now in the animated movie, I watched it all the way through and she didn't do that at all until the very end where they did the theme song. And that is only because they copied it scene by scene from the 1950s Addams Family show where Morticia cuts off roses. So that is something they actually used from the 90s movies, but it is part of her character that's been there all along since the 1950s show. And then she had a bunch of rings in the sequel, Addams Family Values. But apart from that, there's not really anything that you can add to Morticia as a fun character. Or nothing that really makes her pop. For Pops of Color, they gave her the red ring, which she wears in the animated version. They gave her red rose, and I think that really works for her. It's a Pops of Color. And then they added her shears, which again, it could work for honestly any of the Morticia characters from any iterations. Well, the iterations I've seen anyway. I've actually not seen the 1950s now that I think about it. But I did watch the theme song to confirm that they did the scene by scene for the theme song in the animated version. Something that's interesting about Morticia is that she usually wears a low-cut black dress. They didn't do that for the doll at all. I wonder if maybe they thought she would look too much like Elvira, their Elvira doll, so that's why they didn't give her a low-cut dress. I'm okay with it because it's their imaginings of making it Monster High, so I'm fine with it. As for Wednesday, apart from Wednesday's headless doll, that she does have in the 1990s movies, although, you can see her playing with her headless dolls, I guess we'll say. However, instead of the headless doll portion, she just has her head when she goes to bed at night in the 1990s movies. That might be kind of hard for them, for Monster High to here Wednesday, here's your Wednesday doll from the 1990s movies. She comes with a head. I don't know, that's not very fun. If they did a headless doll, that'd be more fun, but I think that's actually more accurate to the 1950s movies. Though I did see her in the animated version, very briefly, with a headless doll. But apart from that, Wednesday's character in the 1990s movies, there's not much you can add to it. She's sullen, of course, and her hair is in braids, of course, and then she has the black dress with the white pilgrim collar, but that's the same in any iteration. I think it's just more fun that they used the animated version because they could add her pet Socrates, which they did, as a purse. The squid, so fun. And then her heels of her boots are Thing, the hand, which, they could do that from the 1990s version too. And Cousin It, which I think it's really funny that they used the animated version one because it's played by Snoop Dogg, and I don't know, I find that incredibly hilarious, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, I just think they needed to add more kind of pops of color to both Morticia and Wednesday, and that's how they did it, and I think it works. I like it. And honestly, even if they could get the rights to Christina Ricci and Angelica Houston, would they really look like them, I mean, does Elvira really look like her? The Elvira Monster High doll, does that really look like Elvira? You could say there's a big something that's missing from the Monster High Elvira doll. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. The Elvira doll kind of looks like her. I mean, you see her and you think that's mostly Elvira, except for, a big thing that's missing. Again, you figure out what I mean. So, I don't know, even if they could get the rights for them, they wouldn't look quite like them. I mean, maybe they could. Mattel does a really good job with face sculpts, but I don't know. I'm excited. I have, which I'll link in the description below, my Living Dead dolls for Morticia and Gomez, and then my Living Dead doll for Wednesday, which I'm hoping that my Dancing Wednesday is going to ship next month from Living Dead dolls, and I'll do a review, and I'm really excited for her, especially because, her pose is like that, because she's from Dancing Wednesday, and Living Dead dolls don't usually do a different pose at all. Their arms are just, stiff to their sides with the 5 points. Granted, she'll still have 5 points with her arms like this, but that's fun. So I'm really excited for that, because I think they did such a great job for the Living Dead Wednesday doll, and again, I'll put links to descriptions for those different reviews. Yeah, so I think it's fine that they use the animated version. I also, if you have never seen either the 1990s versions of the movies or the animated version, I recommend them. The animated version is different, yes, and there's different stories intermingling, and some of the stories that they do, or I don't think they work quite as well, but it still works, and maybe not quite as cohesive for the most part, but it still works in my opinion, and I think most of the voice acting is very, very good in it. Now, the animation is not pretty to look at, but they're the Addams Family. Granted, the normal characters in the neighborhood aren't necessarily that great looking either. It's just an animation choice. If you don't like the aesthetic at all, I can understand that. But it's fun. It's a fun story. I recommend it. If you have seen the sequel to the animated version, let me know if I should watch that, because I haven't. Because I've heard nothing good about it, even from reviewers that have liked the first one. If you guys happen to have Paramount Plus, which I know not a lot of people do, but hey, if you're a Trekkie like me, you have it, man. Both Addams Family movies from the 90s and the first animated movie is on it. Again, I haven't watched the animated sequel, so I don't know if it's on Paramount Plus. Maybe it is. And so if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch them. They're really good. I think the Addams Family from the 90s is a little bit better than the Addams Family Values, but I still think they're great movies. Yeah, I guess this is all. I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on why I think it's fine that Monster High used the animated version. how I think that adds just more pops of color. And I think too, they don't have to be like married to the idea that we have to make this look like Angelica Houston, we have to make this look like Christina Ricci. That way they could do their own kind of sculpts for them that they wanted to. So I'm really excited and nervous for the Monster High drop of Morticia and Wednesday. Let me know if you are excited and nervous. Please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if I should watch the sequel to the animated version. Let me know what you think of the 2019 animated version, which it's okay if you have different opinions. It's like totally fine. Just be respectful in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's okay to like what you like, be who you are, and stay young at heart. Now we'll see you in the next video. Bye! Oh, let's let Wednesday's doll wave too, because she has articulation. Bye! Oh yeah, and like and subscribe and share. I always forget that. Bye!